Thrawn's Chimera Star Destroyer proved to be too much for Ahsoka to handle in the finale, and he may not have taken all his Imperials with him. Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching for more details. Ahsoka and Sabine are stranded on Peridea with threats from the Night Sisters and bandits, and evidence suggests not all of Thrawn's forces left with him. Thrawn's Imperial blockade on Lothal was transported away by Peridea before he and the Chimera were taken, indicating the possibility that other Star Destroyers may be near Peridea. Ahsoka and Sabine may face Imperial threats from the remaining forces of the 7th Fleet. The climax of the Ahsoka series saw the titular character just barely missing a confrontation with Lars Mikkelsen's Grand Admiral Thrawn. Thrawn's Chimera Star Destroyer has whisked him away to the original Star Wars galaxy, leaving Ahsoka Tano and Sabine Wren stranded on Peridea with Baylan Skoll and Shin Hati. And while Balian and Shin may still be at odds with Ahsoka, there are likely bigger threats lurking around the corner. There may still be remnants of the Night Sisters, and there are definitely still the bandits of Peridea to deal with. But evidence suggests that not all of Thrawn's Imperial forces left with him on the Chimera. Of course, the reason the Ahsoka series happened in the first place is because of the Star Wars Rebels Season 4 finale. What should have been a decisive victory on Thrawn's part at the Battle of Lothal turned into a humiliating defeat. Ezra Bridger heroically summoned Peridea to transport Thrawn and his Imperial forces away from Lothal, stranding them far away from the Empire. And despite the Chimera being badly damaged by the Peridea during the journey, Thrawn was able to repair it enough to allow him to escape from Peridea. However, the Chimera may not have been the only Star Destroyer stranded there. Before Thrawn's Chimera is taken from Lothal, his Imperial blockade is destroyed by Peridea at the end of Star Wars Rebels. However, one of his Imperial officers says that the blockade is gone. It's simply vanished. While it hasn't been confirmed, it sounds as if some of Ezra's Peridea transported Thrawn's blockade away from Lothal, mere moments before Thrawn and the Chimera are taken as well. Furthermore, Zeb confirms the 7th Fleet is gone when he tells Ghost Crew that they're all clear up in the atmosphere. If Thrawn's 7th Fleet had been completely destroyed by the Peridea, it's more likely that the Star Destroyers would have plummeted to the surface of Lothal and crash-landed. In other words, by the time of Ahsoka, there should have been a dozen or so Star Destroyer remains crashed on the surface, similar to the ones Rey sees on Jakku in Star Wars. The Force Awakens. But because no Star Destroyers are on Lothal's surface in Ahsoka, the logical conclusion is to assume they were transported somewhere else. If the Peridea took the rest of Thrawn's fleet away through hyperspace, then it's very possible they're somewhere near Peridea. Of course, only the Chimera is seen in Ahsoka, but there was no need for Thrawn to utilize the other ships in the 7th Fleet. In fact, it wasn't even possible for him to bring more than one Star Destroyer back with him. In all likelihood, he may have used the resources and materials from some of them to help repair and refuel the Chimera during his exile. And while he may have scavenged some of the 7th Fleet, other ships of his may still be out there. Even a downed Star Destroyer could be dangerous for Ahsoka and Sabine. It's possible that some Imperials and stormtroopers from the 7th Fleet never even met up with Thrawn before he left. In other words, there could still be Imperials lurking on Peridea, though they may rethink their allegiance to the Empire after learning that Thrawn abandoned them. Even if there are no Imperials left alive, the supplies on Thrawn's other Star Destroyers could be of immense value to Ahsoka and Sabine as they brainstorm a way to get back home. Thrawn knew Morgan Elsbeth was coming to get him, but he came from somewhere else on Peridea, or even somewhere else in the new Star Wars galaxy. Before meeting up with Elsbeth, it's possible he was out there leading what remained of the 7th Fleet. Now that Thrawn and the Chimera are gone, there could be even more Imperial forces waiting to ambush Ahsoka or loot Peridea. Thrawn is a brilliant tactician, so it makes sense for him to not bring his entire force down to bear on Ahsoka. The few stormtroopers he threw at them were clearly enough to hinder them and allow his escape. In addition to a potential Imperial threat, Ahsoka and Sabine must also deal with the bandits of Peridea,